Hi and welcome. I'm Jason and I have something a little different to share with you today. So, what is this here? So I have an idea. I've been thinking about this for a few days and I'm like, I know that this can make a powerful impact on our planet. So what is the idea? The idea is harnessing the power of us as people and our distribution around the world, along with the fact that we all have access to our trash system, the trash that we've polluted the world with, our landfills. And we all have access, or a lot of us have access to fungi. I mean, fungi is everywhere. But when it comes, you can go to the grocery store, you can get portobello, white button mushrooms, or cremini mushrooms. Those are all decomposer fungi. I have a different one right here. This is Stropharia. You might be wondering, like, what is this white, frosty stuff, that looks like a bunch of moldy cotton? Anyways, that's exactly what it is. So this is mycelium, and so I'll explain that really quick. So there is the kingdom of animals, and there's the kingdom of plants, and then there's the kingdom of fungi. Fungi, so when you have a mushroom, that's the fruiting body of the organism. So if there was an apple tree and there was a fruit called an apple on it, the mushroom is the fruiting body to the organism of mycelium. And mycelium is this white thread-like stuff. And the mycelium, what it does is it wraps around carbon-based materials and it breaks them down and turns them into nutrients for the soil. Stropharia is a great soil building fungus. It reduces levels of different types of bacteria, including harmful bacteria like E. coli. It reduces that in our soils. It reduces different toxic chemicals. It builds the soil. And as a rippling effect, helps reduce the amount of toxicity in our soils and also reduces the amount of toxicity in the runoff, like when it rains, and the water goes to the soil, it goes through the mycelium, and you have cleaner water than you would have without it. So is there mycelium and fungi already in our landfills? Yes. I mean, where do you think rancid, old mushrooms go that haven't sold? I'm sure that they don't recycle them. I'm sure they get thrown into landfills. There are fungi in the air. There are fungi everywhere. And so we're not really introducing things that are foreign to the landfills. We're introducing more of it. We're concentrating it. We're amplifying the power of it by growing it at home. And so that can be done on a small, medium, or large scale. And I have 3 containers here. And what I've done is I've just punctured the top of the jar. And I've covered it with micropore tape, which is a porous tape that kind of just keeps this all in here. And I recommend storing these in a cool, dry, dark place, away from moisture. The only moisture you want is in the vessel itself. You can do it as easy as getting an old mason jar, an old protein powder like canister, or a bucket that's empty, and drill a hole on the top and use the micropore tape so that it can breathe, because it does need that. It needs moisture and air to grow. And you can add, like, say you go and get some mushrooms at the store, portobello, button, or cremini. You can cut the base off, throw it in a jar with some coffee grounds and coffee filters, or damp paper or damp cardboard, and grow it. And you'll be able to see it grow like that. And don't worry, I mean, if there's contaminants, like sometimes blue algae gets in there, you can throw that out too, but just, throw it in the trash. That's another decomposer organism. You can regrow this over and over. It doesn't have to be expensive. You can add, your carbon-based material like the paper coffee grounds or like cardboard, and then your mushroom scraps, and grow it, and then throw half of it in your trash, and then put more coffee grounds and coffee filters or paper in here to regrow it again. It's kind of like maintaining a sourdough starter for those of you that bake. And yeah, this can just be ongoing. And, you can do it on a small, medium, or large scale. It doesn't matter really. I guess it does matter to some degree, but whatever you want to do, that's awesome. I encourage all and any of you, whoever you are, to do this to some degree, even if it's just throwing a mushroom in the garbage. I mean, imagine one mushroom can release billions of spores, or up to 1 billion, or it's really high number like that. Imagine if everybody on Earth, amplified a single mushroom and threw it into our trash. The idea is for rainwater and the cold season, because that's the best time to do it, or just wet weather, is to sink it into the landfills so that the mycelium can find the carbon-based materials and toxic chemicals and different types of bacteria that it consumes, like E. coli, and reduce the levels of those in our landfills, hence reducing the amount of off-gassing that we are responsible for into the environment, because, reduce the bacteria that are releasing massive amounts of methane, reduce the toxic chemicals, reduce toxic substances in the landfill, and you can reduce the off-gassing. Also, in the event of a flood, because they happen, they're not cool, but, say a landfill floods and, some of those chemicals and toxins in the landfills, leach out into the surrounding neighborhoods. Well, you have the best cleanup crew also concentrated in the same exact place. I mean, wouldn't that be better? And then also there's less chemicals and toxins, in the event of a flood being leached out because of how much the fungi have already worked on it. So this is something that's powerful, and I believe the main source of power with it is if we all do this, because our distribution is what gives us strength and power to implement and amplify the power of fungi. And that's the core of this. It's for us to do this. That's why the hashtags I've associated with this are mycorestoretogether and also mycorecycletogether. So I strongly encourage you to consider that, whether you want to do it once or do it twice or have it be a regular thing and have this new vessel like next to your compost vessels, to help reduce the amount of toxins in our landfills, so we can reduce the amount of toxins in the air and toxins in the water. So I really hope that this video has inspired you, and I encourage you, if you have ideas and means of amplifying this idea, please amplify it. The idea is for all of us to work together on this and to amplify it together. It's the power of our distribution. We cover the planet and we all have access to trash. So I feel like this is something you can do from the comfort of your own home and make a difference in the world. And, break down some of the toxic chemicals via the most powerful and best decomposers on Earth. So yeah, any questions about any of this, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. And please do share this video. I feel like it's really important, and it'll accomplish more if it's shared. Yeah, thank you, and we can do this. We've got this. Thanks again. My name is Jason.